Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those who are returning subscribers, thank you. Ngiyabonga, ngiyaleboga. Thank you so much for subscribing, for recommending my channel, literally just sharing my posts and everything else. Thank you so much. For those who are watching my video for the first time, thank you, and please click on the subscribe button below. Guys, you need to be a part of this community. You're not gonna regret it. I'm already blown away by your support, your positive messages. Thank you so much, guys. I truly appreciate it. So today I just wanted to come on here and literally just talk to you guys about the power of reading. So I get a lot of questions all the time, and people always ask me, how do you do it? Like, you're always reading books. Guys, I wasn't born this way. Really, I wasn't. And honestly speaking, I didn't grow up in a family that read books. Honestly, I didn't grow up in a family where books were read to us and my parents read books, and no. So I literally fell in love with reading when I got to varsity. Reason being, when I got to varsity, I understood the power of reading and researching, right? So I researched a lot. And I researched about the career that I was trying to pursue and the modules that I was doing. And literally I had a lot of good relationships with my lecturers, and I think that's what really helped me when it comes to cultivating my relationship with books. So I used to just read articles, but back in varsity I didn't really buy books. I wasn't really buying books, so I would always just read articles, just download articles, read articles. As time went on and on, that's when I think the first book that I actually got, it was a gift. And this person bought me a book by Priscilla Shearer. The name of the book was Fervent. And I read that book. It was in 2017, I remember. I wasn't working at that time. So I had just graduated and I was looking for a job. So I got that book as a gift and I started reading it. And that's where I started falling in love with reading. So it's not something that just happened overnight and I just read an entire book, right? So I'd literally just read 2 pages or a page, forget about it, read it the following week. If you really wanna develop a culture of reading, you need to do it one step at a time. Literally take baby steps, because you can't just out of the blue start reading a whole novel. I had to schedule time. Reading is all about discipline, honestly. People who say, I honestly can't read a whole book. It's all about discipline. And it's all about wanting to have that discipline. You need to schedule time for reading, the same way that you schedule time to go and have lunch with your friends, to go and do your shopping or anything like that. It's the same way that you need to schedule time, right, for reading. It doesn't come easy. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you're disciplined enough, then you will make time for it. So that's what I did. Literally, I would just schedule 30 minutes. I started with 30 minutes because that's what made sense to me. I can't just say 3 hours. Wasn't gonna do it. I'd probably, for those 3 hours, I'd be on my phone for 2 hours 30 minutes. So I didn't want to kill myself. I just wanted to develop this whole reading culture slowly, but to do it really, really well. So I literally scheduled time every single day for 30 minutes because I'm not a morning person, so I don't really like reading in the morning. I read at night just before bed, and I'll just read for 30 minutes and then sleep. I honestly started enjoying it. And I found myself waking up in the morning and just taking that book because I'm so hooked, right? I'm so hooked by probably the chapter that I'm reading or by the book entirely. So I would just be like, no, that's what I did. I had to push myself, like, yo, I need to do this. And I literally read that book and failure. And I was like, how? So this is doable almost. And it felt good. It honestly felt good. And to make it more fun for myself, I needed a new pair of heels, right? And I was like, no, I'm not gonna buy the heels now. If I finish reading that book, I'll go and get myself a pair of shoes. And I pushed myself. I finished that book. I finished reading that book in 2 weeks, and I bought myself a pair of heels, right? And that's literally how my love for reading started. But honestly speaking, guys, it's so important, especially the more we grow, it's so important to have a culture or to develop a culture of reading. You need to read, even if it means reading just one page, just a page of a book or of an article or of something that you really do have interest in, but you have to develop a culture of reading, right? Schedule time for reading. It helps your mind, the way you think, the way you speak, and the way that you carry yourself. It just changes you entirely as a person, and you begin to really realize what is important and what is not. So it will also help you to do more research, because when you read books and you're reading about, I don't know, but for me, honestly, I feel that when I read a certain book, especially when I read fiction books, right, I tend to do more research. I'm currently reading five books, right? So the one book, I'm not really reading it to finish it. I'm constantly referring back to that book, right? So this book, Liwa, by Jackie Pamotsi, it has made me realize a whole lot of psychological disorders, right? And to do more research about these things, because we live with these kind of people every single day, and we don't understand what people are really going through, so it really talks about psychosis, and I had to do a whole lot of research while reading this book, and it has opened my eyes. Truly, it has really opened my eyes about a whole lot of things, right? So it's a good book, especially for me, because I studied industrial psychology. So if you studying human behavior or anything like that, this is a book for you. It's a good book. It's a great book. I don't regret buying this book. Cool. Then I recently got this one, A Return to Love. This book, guys, it is changing my life. I think every book is changing my life. But honestly, guys, this book literally talks about a return to love. Like that we need to return to love. That every problem in our society, in our communities, in our country, in the world can really be solved by returning to love. So it's really changing my perspective about situations around me, people around me. Guys, I don't know how to explain it, but honestly speaking, this book is it's even changing the way I look at situations in general. Like, guys, I love it. I honestly don't regret it. I'm actually glad that my little sister got it for me, and it's honestly changing my life. All right, then another one, Boundaries. I showed you guys this book the last time. This book, guys, I got it from a sister of mine, and the way this book itself, it's a testimony, right? And this sister of mine, who happens to be a pastor and a prophetess, so she was at the mall. She went to a bookstore for herself, innocently for herself. And when she got there and she saw this book, the Holy Spirit literally told her, you need to get Moemedi that book. And she tried to brush it off, and the Holy Spirit kept on reminding her to get me this book. And from the first page, from the first word, I was hooked. And I actually realized how much I needed this book to change my life, to change the narrative in my life, to change the way I think, the way I do things. This book, honestly speaking, it basically just teaches me when to say yes, when to say no, and to just take full control over my life. And I couldn't be happier. I'm also reading Relationship Goals. I'm laughing because I never thought in my entire existence I will ever read a book. Relationship goals. Like, I can read so many books. But honestly speaking, guys, this book is changing my relationship dynamics. It's changing the way I think, the way I feel, the way I communicate. It is sure. Yeah. I wish I had read this book sooner or earlier than now, but I am so glad that I got this book. I'm so glad that I got this book. Actually, it was also a gift, so I am so glad. It was written for me, especially for me. Like, plus, people who know me, I love Michael Todd, I love TD Jakes, I love Stephen Fedek, I love and then the book that I normally refer to every single time is this one, right? So it's The Power of Praying. So it's the power of praying, the power of a praying wife, the power of a praying wife, the power of a praying parent, the power of a praying woman. So it's 3 in 1, right? I read this book from time to time, and I don't read it in order. For me, I don't read it in order because I'm not a wife yet. So I started with the back pages, which is The Power of a Praying Woman, and I love it. Honestly, I love it. And the day I get engaged, I'll be reading this part, The Power of a Praying Wife. So this video, guys, was just to enlighten you guys about the power of reading. The power of reading. Actually, for me, all these books that I have, they are all important. After reading every single book, I normally refer back to some of the books, just to pick a brain, you know. And yeah, so I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. For those people who have been DMing me, asking me about books and how I do it, I hope that you guys were answered today. And yeah, I hope that you will put this into practice. You will not regret it. Reading is healthy for your brain, for your mind, for your soul, for your heart, and everything else. You will just start to take up space in your life. And it's so important that as we grow older, you need to talk about things that you know. You need to talk about things that you're confident about, you know. And you only get that in books, you get it in articles, you get it in research, by researching. You just get it in reading. You just need to indulge in reading. It's really important. I cannot stress it enough. Yeah, another thing I will not forget, Uguti, you need to read news. You need to know what happens in our country. You need to know what happens in other countries. You need to know every single thing, especially when you are trying to build a career. It's so important for you to know what is happening in our market, in what is happening to the economy, what is happening with our inflation rate. You need to understand those things. It's not only the responsibility of economists, but for every citizen in the country. And don't forget that you need to ask for help. You need to speak to the right people who are well equipped with whatever that you might be researching about. I cannot stress it enough. It's so important. Try it, and it is going to change your entire life. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for your questions, for your positive messages. I truly appreciate it. I am so grateful for you guys and for everyone else praying for me. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, to comment, to subscribe to my channel, and to also share these videos in order for us to grow the community, right? So thank you so much, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.